Obviously, you feel that major portions of your life have resulted from mind control of some sort or another.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not as if your whole life has been one being led around blindfolded by some.
Well,
you've done writing, you published some things.
I harbored the conceit up until I discovered I was a mind control subject that I was a particularly independent thinker, and that. And so it's been, it was came to me rather hard to realize that I owed much of my thinking and much of my independence, what looked to me like my independence was actually not independence at all. However, I gradually became convinced that a good portion of like I say, I probably would have been an elder in the Mormon Church if I hadn't become a mind control subject. It probably would have been a most perfectly boring life you could imagine.
So you've been saved by mind control.
Yeah, right. Well, not that I think it's. Believe me, it's not a nice thing. It's a hideous thing for your identity to be stolen from you. Right. But I think what identity was there to begin with, I was just, in my particular case, so, I got very low grades in school up until the 7th grade, and then I started getting very high grades. And I think that, from what I understand, my particular background was a heredity versus environment experiment. And I think it was the hereditary side that decided to cheat a little and mind control me, because I was getting such poor grades in school and seemed so stupid.
Kerry, what kind of things do you do today? Are you still writing?
Yeah, I write a little. I just developed my kidneys stopped functioning earlier this summer, and I spent most of the summer in and out of the hospital. And now they want me on disability and this, that, and the other thing. So I'm going to be living, I guess, on disability and food stamps for the rest of my life. I'm being forced into early retirement. Of course, I have a conspiracy theory about what happened to my kidneys. The doctors never could figure out what it was. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know if it's true or not. It's just.
Can you summarize?
So I'll probably be writing even more in the future. I have to go to dialysis 3 times a week and all that. But it's like, so I'll have lots of time to write anyway, if nothing else. I usually, most people say most people who say they would like to write books and so on and so forth, I have about 5 or 6 books sitting around all together. A couple of manuscripts still sitting around and collecting dust. And the thing is, if you write a page a day, if you write 1 page a day, or 1 page every other day, you'd be surprised at how rapidly they accumulate, how soon you have a book. People don't realize, in a way, how I think Winston Churchill wrote 15 minutes a day or something, and he wrote volumes. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to write. If you're writing something such as a book, where it doesn't have to meet with some editor's requirements by a certain deadline and so on and so forth. And so I still write, but I don't feel like I don't feel like that's the dominant influence in my life by any means.
What would be the dominant influence?
Well, I don't know. I was washing dishes for a living. Camden and I have always disagreed about this. Camden Benares thinks being a writer is the highest calling there is. And in 1972, I got into radical therapy, and I decided that I didn't want to be defined in terms of an economic function. And even though I'd been writing for a living at that time only for about a year once in my life, nevertheless, I didn't want to call myself a writer. And he felt personally betrayed by that to me, it's just another. In fact, in a way, it's a racket because of the copyright laws. Mark Twain, you know, when he went up before Congress to give a speech once, he said, "You and I are in the same business. Neither one of us works for a living." People make enormous amounts of money writing, but I don't think is all that earned, you know. But be that as it may. So I don't know, I was thinking of myself as my main function was I was a dishwasher in a Mexican restaurant. And I made a Zen discipline out of washing dishes. I sat there and tried to concentrate on washing the dishes and thinking about nothing else as I was washing the dishes. And I took as much pride in being a dishwasher as I take in being a writer when I'm writing something. And I think, to me, that's a lot more... that's my idea of being a lot more in touch with reality. It isn't, as I say, it isn't Camden's. I don't know how Wilson or Greg feel about such things. Greg stopped writing entirely at some point. Wilson's been by far the most successful of us. He's written so much that I haven't had time to read but a fraction of it myself.